Welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to unlock a simple, but honestly incredibly powerful grammar structure that perfectly captures how things change over time. If you've ever wanted to talk about who you were, what you did, or how things used to be, you are exactly in the right place. We are going to completely master the phrase used to.
So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to quickly cover the meaning of used to, how to make positive statements, forming the negative, asking questions, a super common mistake you need to avoid, and then we'll finish up with some practice. All right, let's jump straight into part one, the meaning of used to. Well, the easiest way to think about this phrase is that it functions like a grammatical time machine. It anchors us to past habits, or things that were true back then but definitely aren't anymore. Think of it as drawing a really clear, distinct line between then and now. It's not just about what happened yesterday, it's about defining a whole era of your life or a state of the world that has officially ended. Moving right along to part two, making positive statements. The formula for this is just super simple. It's literally just 3 consecutive pieces. You take your subject, add the phrase used to, and follow it immediately with your base verb. And that is it, the whole shebang. There are no complex conjugations, no messy endings for your main verb. The phrase used to does all the heavy lifting of putting the action firmly into the past habit category. For example, you could clearly describe an active past like this. I used to play football every weekend. Following our formula, I is the subject. Then we just drop in used to, and the base verb is play. This tells anyone listening instantly that those weekend football games were a regular, repeated habit, but they are absolutely not happening today. Let's see how this builds with a little more context. You can describe locations like she used to live in Cairo, or relationships like they used to be best friends. Because it's not just about physical actions like playing football, right? This grammar structure beautifully covers states of being, too. She doesn't live in Cairo anymore. They aren't best friends anymore. The structure just paints a complete picture of a bygone reality. Okay, part 3, forming the negative. What if we want to talk about something that was not a habit? The math changes just a tiny bit here. The new sequence is subject, then didn't used to, followed by the base verb. Now really pay attention to the spelling here. Because didn't already carries the past tense for us, we absolutely must drop the letter D from the word used. So it becomes didn't used to rather than didn't used to. Let's see that structural change in action. I didn't used to drink coffee, or he didn't used to like vegetables. In both of these cases, the word didn't does all the work of telling us we're in the past, so use stays perfectly in its base form. It is a subtle shift, for sure, but an essential one for getting this grammar structure exactly right. Next up, part 4, asking questions. Let's flip the equation. Here is our question formula. You start with did, add your subject, insert used to, and yep, keeping that tricky D dropped just like we did in the negative form, and then you finish with the base verb. Again, because did is right there at the front signaling the past tense, use loses the D. So following that exact logic, you could ask, did you used to play tennis? And the best part is, you can efficiently answer this with a really short, simple response. Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. You definitely don't have to repeat the whole phrase back to the person. That short answer keeps the conversation flowing beautifully and naturally. All right, part 5, avoiding common mistakes. We need to talk about avoiding the tricky D trap. Listen to this incorrect version. I didn't used to play. If you write that with a D at the end of use, you've fallen for the trap. The correct structure is I didn't use to play. After a helping verb like did or didn't, you must always use the base form without the D at the end. Honestly, try to just burn this distinction right into your memory. Okay, part 6, time to practice. Let's lock this in. Let's test this out together. Take a second to mentally fill in the blank for this positive statement about playing outside as a child. Think back to our very first formula. Subject plus our magic phrase plus the base verb. What goes in the blank? If you guessed used to play, you hit the nail on the head. You applied the base formula perfectly. The full sentence becomes, I used to play outside every day when I was a child. Great job. Let's level up a bit. Try this negative statement. She didn't blank spicy food, using the verb eat. Remember our rule about the tricky D when we're dealing with negative structures? How do we complete this one? Exactly right. It is used to eat because the word didn't already handles the past tense for us. We drop the D. So the complete correct sentence is, she didn't used to eat spicy food.
Okay, for our final challenge, how do we correctly structure a question about living in Alexandria? We've got 2 blanks here. How do we start a question about a past habit, and what happens to the main phrase? And there's that question formula in action. It's did to start and used to live in the middle. Putting it all together, we get, did you used to live in Alexandria? Once again, no D on used because we started the whole thing with did. To wrap up this explainer, I want you to think about your own past for a second. What is one specific thing you used to do when you were younger? Construct that sentence in your head right now and realize you've just mastered a really crucial element of English fluency. But, this is just one piece of the giant puzzle. What other grammatical time machines exist in the English language just waiting to be unlocked? Keep practicing, and we'll explore exactly that